Wow. Bismillah. It's looking absolutely delicious. Assalamu alaikum everybody. I'm back in my garden. Today we're cooking in my garden and this is my most favorite recipe that I'm making today. So I have 1.5 kgs of beef and guess what I'm making? I'm going to make beef pilau. Absolutely authentic, very special recipe. There's different types of beef pilaus. So this recipe I think is probably the best recipe I've tried so far. So I thought I am going to share this with you. I could not find beef bones because it's very hard to get hold of beef bones. So I'm using lamb and most of these bones are with the marrow. So 1.5 kg of these bones with the marrow and 1.5 kgs of beef shoulder I have here. Okay, you saw me chopping these vegetables. I have 1 celery, 1 carrot, I have 1 large onion, 1 tomato, 1 big clove of garlic and about 3 small pieces of ginger which I've cut in pieces. So you can say about 2.5 inches piece of ginger. So all these ingredients that we will be making the broth first. That's the authentic way of cooking beef pilau, right? So that's how we're starting and we have these spices here and I'm gonna take you through these spices one by one so you understand the recipe clearly. And I have my clay pot on and let's start adding everything in the pot. Kgs shoulder piece of beef cut in medium-sized pieces. Let's add that in the clay pot. 1.5 kgs of lamb bones for the marrow, ideally all the marrow bones. That's what we want. Look, every single bone has marrow in it. That's what we want. That. All these vegetables for the broth go in. And here are the whole spices. 2 large whole tablespoons of coriander seeds, 1.5 tablespoons of whole cumin, 2 pieces of aniseed, 5 to 6 green cardamoms, 3 black cardamoms, 9 to 10 pieces of cloves, just tiny little 3 to 4 pieces of cinnamon sticks, 1 teaspoon of black whole pepper, and I've got some fennel seeds. I think that's about 1 tablespoon. You can add more or less, it's entirely up to you. So all this go in. I do hand measurements with salt. I never measure salt. I think it's about 1 teaspoon. All in. And next thing will go in water. Let me get some water. Is 1 liter of water. You can add a little bit more than 1 liter if you like. I'm just adding 1 cup of water, so 1 liter, 1 cup. Give it a stir. Be on slow cook with the lid on for about 1 hour 15 to 20 minutes, I think, because once clay pot is hot, it's actually more um, intense than the pressure cooker. So the meat cooks very, very quickly. So I'll put the lid on, and like I always say, it will let the clay pot do its magic. Yeah, it's been a couple of hours, and let's see if the broth is ready. Let's Bismillah. And look at this. This broth is ready. The meat is tender, is soft, and everything is mixed in the broth. See, that's what we want, and it's ready now. Let's take it off and prepare our onions for the pilau. I'm using this pot for the rice because the other pot is going to be small. And let's add some oil. You can use any oil. I'm using sunflower, about half a cup. And I must tell you, because we're running out of time, it's getting late and everyone's starving, I had to chop onions whilst we were waiting for the broth to be ready. So if my camera person can show you, I had 2 medium onions, thinly sliced. That's ready to go in the oil. We're just waiting for oil to be ready. And then I have 1 tomato. I took the skin off the tomato and made puree out of this. And I used 8 cloves of garlic and 2-inch piece of ginger and made paste. And it's actually mixed with water. So it's looking too much, but it's not. So that and onion. So we'll do this step by step. I'm just waiting for oil to be ready, and I'll throw in onions. Bismillah. Yeah, oil in nice and hot. It's sizzling. Let's throw in onions. We want onions to get light brown to medium brown. It's your choice, really, how you like it. So clay pots usually take forever, ages to heat up, but this pot is very, very quick, and that's why I'm using this. Okay, we just wait for these onions to change its color, and I'll add the rest of the ingredients. So while the onions being cooked, let me just take you through these spices that I'm going to use. So I have half a teaspoon of black whole pepper, half a teaspoon of white whole pepper. I've got 1 tablespoon of cumin whole, and I've got 1.5 tablespoon of whole coriander. I have 1 teaspoon of garam masala. I have 1 leaf of this bay leaf. This is 1, but it was broken. And then I have black cardamom, 3 pieces. This is half a nutmeg, or small, like I just broke the nutmeg, and this is just like a small piece of nutmeg, and I've got 5 green cardamoms. So all these spices I'm going to grind in my machine, and then I will throw in once the paste is ready. I had to add 2 tablespoons of oil because I thought oil was a little bit less. So just to mention that I used half a cup before, but then I added 2 tablespoons of oil later because I thought oil was a little less, because we do want a good amount of oil for these onions to change color and cook. So that's the color of the onions that I'm looking for, light brown. That's ginger and garlic paste that goes in. That's a nice sizzle. I'm going to cook that for 30 seconds. Let's cook that. That's a very important step because you want to kill the smell of garlic. So before you add tomatoes, just cook garlic for 30 seconds. And now I'm adding 1 tomato. The spices, okay, the spices go in. So these spices have been ground in the machine, and a little bit of salt. I just do hand measurements, so it's about 1 teaspoon of salt I'm using, and then we can check the salt later. Let's give it a good mix. It's very windy and this fire is going wild. So I'm just keeping my skirt away in case it catches fire. So it's nice paste that we're getting here. Just cook these spices for about 30 seconds and I will add a tiny bit of water because we don't want onions to burn anymore. So we don't want onions to change its color. Just a tiny bit of water. And now it's time to save the broth. So I would need help for that. It's really, really heavy. The pot is hot and really heavy, so I asked my husband to help me. Just Bismillah. I need the spoon just to get all the broth out of this. The meat can go in it as well because we want all the broth out. Just remember there's lots of bones in there as well that I used, right? So yeah, we've taken all the broth out. I will add all these bones and meat pieces in the onions because we don't want any bits of those whole masalas that we used. And if you don't want to use these bones, that's absolutely fine because the bone marrow is almost come out, but some bones have already bone marrow inside it. So it's nice to use it. Once all the marrow bones and the meat pieces are inside, in the onions and tomatoes, you've got to make sure that you cook this on high heat for about 5 to 6 minutes. Again, don't skip this step because that's a very important step. And keep stirring it because you don't want this meat to burn. I mean, especially because I'm cooking on the wood burner, I can't really control the intensity of the fire. You've got to keep stirring, otherwise it'll burn. And it smells amazing, so nice. Let me just check first how hot these green chilies are because I don't want it to be, I don't want my family cursing me. These chilies are very hot. If you love spicy food, these green chilies will add a lot of flavor to the rice. So I think I'll just add 3 pieces and I'll leave other 3 out. Okay? Again, you've got to keep stirring it, otherwise it'll burn. You don't want to burn the meat or the mixture, the paste. Keep stirring. And now I will be adding broth. Actually, before I add broth, I need to add 1 more stick because the fire has almost died. And just add 1 more stick. Time to add broth. So this is golden broth. cooked for 2 hours in the clay pot on slow cook. It goes in. That's it. We're just going to wait for the boil. And now is the time to check the salt as well, because I will be adding rice next. So I'll be checking the salt at this point. Let this come to the boil and then I'll check the salt. It's almost Maghrib time, so I'm trying to finish this so I can put this on slow cook and go for my prayer. So I have beef cubes here, 2 tiny ones. The reason why I put less salt in the beginning, because this beef cube is now going in the broth. Okay, so 1, 2. And now we will wait for to see how much salt we need more, because beef cubes do have salt in it. Now that I've checked the salt, I'm going to add another teaspoon because more rice is going in as well. Oh God, it's so much smoke. I don't know, this fire is going crazy. I think it's the wind, is the breeze that's making it. But I'm sure neighbors can smell this and they must be thinking, what is cooking today? Anyway, I'm going to add rice now. Let's add rice. My family is hungry and I'm feeling so guilty and bad about this. Bismillah. So these are 3 cups of rice I'm using. You can use more rice. Actually, you can go, these cups were quite big, large cups. So you could go 4 cups as well, because I had 1.5 kg of meat. Bismillah. So the water has to be 1.5 inches above the rice. That's the trick. So please remember that. Just make sure every single grain of the rice goes in the pot. That's what my sister-in-law always tells me. So I'm trying not to waste any rice. And I think this is the nice consistency of broth and water we have.
You left some grain out.
Kumi, don't be naughty. Okay, so don't mix it too much. My camera person, if you can just come back to me. So don't, at this point, do not stir the rice too much. You don't want to break the rice, but yes, you can check for the salt. Yeah. So whilst this water broth is coming to boil, and just check for the salt. One final check. Bismillah. I think I might need a little more salt. Testing. Now the rice is in there. Once the water is come to boil, you can do the final testing at this point. And look, this is another teaspoon goes in. When you have tiny bit of water left on the surface, I have very little water left on the surface. Can you see there's more rice and meat showing? This is the right time now to cook on the slow cook, which we usually call in Urdu dum. Just get a clean towel or clean kitchen towel or any clean sheet, and then just place it on top like that. Okay, because we just want to seal all that heat inside it. I've pulled most of the wood out from the stove, tiny piece of wood left, most of the coal, because it's going to be very slow cook. So, because we have the lid is on with the kitchen towel, with a clean kitchen towel, I'm going to use this clay pot and I'm going to put that on top, just to add weight. We don't want any steam escaping, and because it's Maghrib time, I can go and pray and wash my hands, obviously, and do wudu, wash my hands. And by the time we come back, I think 12 to 15 minutes, slow cook, the rice should be lovely and ready. Finally, It's been 20 minutes. We prayed Maghrib. I've come back in my garden, and I think this is the time now we should, because I left it on slow heat, on really slow heat, but then I was checking and it was dying, and I just had to put one wood in. I think it should be enough time now. 15 to 20 minutes, I think. It should be ready. Okay, let's moment of truth. Bismillah, Bismillah. Let's move this. I'm going to move this. Bismillah, 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 Bismillah. I'm going to open it. Wow. Bismillah. It's looking absolutely delicious. And look how this rice is perfectly cooked. Meat is cooked, tender, and lovely smell as well. The smell is so beautiful. I'm going to dish it out. This is my plate. I bought it from Istanbul, and I'm really looking forward to eating my plate. And some meat, some bone with the bone marrow would be so nice. Oh God. Just put one bone in my plate as well, and some rice. Bismillah. Yeah, it's looking so appetizing. Bismillah. I'm going to put the lid back on. Let's do some tasting. Okay, I have my rice, my beef pilau, my lassi, the iron yogurt drink, and it's just a nice combo. I like it. Let's taste it. Bismillah. The meat is so soft and is breaking, so juicy. The broth from the bone is all gone in, the flavors have gone in the rice, and I've got some green chilies in there as well. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So hot as well. Bismillah. This is the best pilau recipe ever. Please do try this. I would love you to try this recipe and tell me in the comments if you like it. Please do share this recipe with your friends and family, and also subscribe my channel, because I will be cooking some really, really delicious recipes out in the garden, in my clay pot, maybe in my kitchen as well, and different ideas. So also, actually, that's really good. Please do give me ideas as well. If you want me to cook anything in particular, please tell me in the comments and I will definitely cook it. See you in next video. Assalamu alaikum.